Hi, friends. Oh, here it is. Hi, friends, and thanks for coming for another story time. So, we have been learning about apples, and we have been looking at a book called Apples, right? By Gail Gibbons. And fun fact about Gail Gibbons, she's my favorite author. Oh, whoops. No, she's not my favorite author. She's just one of my favorite authors. Man, that really got me. Ouchies. Hi, friends, and thanks for coming to another Apple story time with me, Teacher Rachel. So you guys might recognize this book. We did read part of this book already. It talked about how apples grow and what they do in the different seasons. Today, we're going to talk about the history of apples and kind of how apples have come such a long way and are produced and made for people now. And it's really come a long way. Apples have started from the very first Americans that came to our country, and even the Native Americans that were here in this country when the colonists came. No. Hi, friends, and thanks for coming for another Apples story time. So we've been reading this book, and I got to read the middle part of the book, but I didn't get to read the beginning part, which I wanted to get a chance to do with you this week. It's called The History of Apples. So we're going to open our book and check out the history of apples and learn all about where they come from, okay? So once again, this book is called Apples, and it's by Gail Gibbons. Gail Gibbons, she's a wonderful author. Let's open her book. All right. An apple is a fruit. It grows on an apple tree. Yeah, that's right. Apples, right? I got one here. Ah, an apple. It's kind of like our other apple there that's green, huh? Kind of match. Okay. Apple trees grow in more parts of the world than any other fruit tree. Well, that's a fun fact. They have been in existence for about 2 million years. 2 million. Do you guys know how many that is? 2 million? It's 2, and then it's 6 zeros. Can you imagine? 2 million. That's a big number, right? Big number of years. All right, let's go. Oh, look, who are these people? The first American colonists brought apple seeds and seedlings with them from England. Okay, so we're going to take a little pause because I'm going to show you the map, okay? So I wanted to remind you about our orange continent. Do you guys remember what the orange continent is called? North America, North America. So these people came to North America all the way from over here. See that little island? It's called England. It's called the United Kingdom, and there's a country in there called England. So they came all the way from there, and they brought apple seedlings all the way over to North America, to our country of the United States of America, right? I just wanted to show you that so you guys could see. Okay. As the colonists moved westward, they brought apple seeds and seedlings with them. Some settlers found that Native American Indians had already brought apple seeds west and had apple trees growing near their villages. So those are the Native Americans, and these were the colonists that came from England went across the ocean. And look, they've all got apples. Native Americans had apples, and the colonists had apples. Apples are very popular. Let's see what else we have in our apple history, okay? Many times during the early 1800s, John Chapman traveled throughout the wilderness of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Indiana, planting apple seeds. Also, he gave seeds and seedlings to settlers there. He became known as Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed. You guys know Johnny Appleseed? Yeah, this is a drawing of Johnny Appleseed planting his apple trees. So you guys have my books. I have books about Johnny Appleseed, but he was a real person and he lived in 1800. It says early 1800s. So do you guys know what year it is now? It's 2020. That's the year. And 1800 is 220 years ago. It's a pretty long time ago. But there was a real man. His name was John Chapman. And people called him Johnny Appleseed because he planted apple trees and gave apple seedlings to the settlers. And there are so many apple trees because of Johnny Appleseed and what he did. He's a great part of apple history. Some apples are grown at home, but most are grown commercially. What does that mean? So, does anyone have an apple tree in their home? Or not in their home, in their backyard? Or the front yard? I have one in my backyard, but that's only one tree. So, when you have lots of trees and you grow them in like a big, call it an orchard, a big space with lots and lots of trees, they call it commercially. It means that they are grown all together and they process them all together. And it's a lot of apples. Okay, this is our last page. Each year, about 250 million bushels of apples are grown in the United States, and about 28 million bushels are grown in Canada. So let me show my map. I gotta show it one more time, right? Okay, so this is our map. And where are we talking about? North America. This continent right here, because we're talking about the United States. That's where we live. That's the country here. And then Canada is this part right here, way up here. So that's Canada. See that, Canada, and then we have the United States, and that's all in North America. And once again, that's the history of apples. So we got to learn a little bit about how the apples came to the United States of America, some of the people that are in our apple history, right? Like Johnny Appleseed, right? And some fun facts about apples, like how many million bushels they make, and what year things were happening, right? Anyway, so I hope you guys have fun learning about the history of apples. If you're curious more about the history, there's lots of other great books, and especially lots of books on Johnny Appleseed, so you can ask your parents about that too. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye, guys.